Subprimeval, Season 3, Episode 3, Somewhere Safe, Part 1. Written by Robert S.C. Cutler, read by Fentriss O. Moore. After making a fuel stop in Illinois, Captain Jones set the Black Hawk down in a remote field near Columbus, Ohio, where 3 military Humvees and 1 black sedan were waiting to greet them. Freakshow told Cassie and Trina to sit back and wait until he said it was clear, and then waited for his own orders from Major Wallace. "Is that Riley?" Agent Davis asked Freakshow. Freakshow cringed. "Sure is, which means something's not right." "I'll take care of Riley," Major Wallace said. "You 3 sit tight and keep those civilians out of sight." Captain Jones watched Wallace disembark and then told Freakshow and Davis he had heard some disturbing chatter over his headset while they were en route to Ohio. "This entourage is not a good sign, boys. The agency is considering bringing all 4 of us up on charges of treason and sending her sister and her friend down to Guantanamo Bay for safekeeping until this little mess you've created blows over." Davis sat up with his mouth open. "We created? We were just following orders." "What a crock of bull, man. They can't charge us for a crime they told us to commit," Freakshow said. "They can do whatever they want, and there is nothing any of us can do about it," Captain Jones lectured. "Would they really send us to Mexico?" asked Trina. "That would be Cuba, and yes, they would," Captain Jones stated calmly. "Maybe the collateral damage isn't as bad as we feared," Freakshow said. "Check your phone, sis, and see if they're reporting anything different about Wichita." "I'm on an Oklahoma City site right now, and it's still the same old story about how a massive quake has leveled Wichita. Oh, here's something new," Cassie said, and then read some of the report aloud. "The National Guard has blocked off the southern border of Kansas leading into Oklahoma on Interstate 35, as well as multiple other roadways. Because of possible exposure to ammonia nitrate, people fleeing the earthquake-ravaged area are being temporarily quarantined. Authorities are not certain how many cars crossed the border before the blockade was put into effect." "That makes 0 sense," Davis scoffed. "What are they worried about? Somebody's going to develop a mild rash?" "The agency's just trying to ensure that no one has been infected by one of those nasty demons and are spreading it south," Captain Jones said. Freakshow shook his head. "The threat of deadly bacteria was just a line of bullshit created by Dr. Teray and her pack of evil scientists. The only thing the agency is trying to stop is the flow of information about those creatures. They're still trying to contain them." "Good luck with that," Davis laughed. Trina squeezed in tight next to Cassie to get a better look at the phone's small screen. "Try Facebook," Trina said. "See if someone's posted something." "Why? Everybody we know is probably dead." "Don't your future in-laws live in Missouri?" asked Trina. "Maybe they heard from Jordan." "That's a good idea," Freakshow said. "Yeah, you're pretty smart, Trina," Davis flirted, earning a smile and a long stare. Cassie looked vacantly away. "I was trying hard not to think of Jordan." "I'm sorry I might have gotten your fiancé killed," Freakshow said. "I hope he is dead. I found out yesterday morning that I wasn't the only girl he knocked up. Jordan has a 1-year-old son that lives in the same town as his parents, and he would go to visit his ex-girlfriend and kid on the weekends when he told me he was working." "What a dick," Davis blurted out. "If he isn't dead, your brother and I will make sure he is. Just say the word." "Do his parents know what he's doing?" asked Freakshow. "I know his precious mother does. That's why the nasty bitch was always so mean to me. She wanted her little boy to marry the first bimbo he impregnated." "Everyone be quiet," Captain Jones barked. "Wallace is headed back this way, and does he look pissed." Freakshow and Davis had both hands cuffed behind their back and were kneeling on the ground, leaning with their foreheads pressed against the side of the black sedan. Major Wallace and Captain Jones were sitting cross-legged at gunpoint, while both girls were cuffed and placed in the back seat of one of the Humvees. Special Agent Riley paced a few yards away, talking and yelling on the phone. After he abruptly ended the call, he marched back over to the detainees. "Tell me again, Agent Davis, who gave you the orders to set the explosives?" asked Riley. "Special Agent Kraft, sir." "Where is Agent Kraft now?" "Presumed dead, sir, but we can't be certain because—" "Don't ramble, Agent Davis," Riley spat. "You will only give me direct answers. Is that clear?" "Yes, sir." Sorry, sir. Why do you think Agent Kraft is dead? Riley continued. The explosion was so intense, anyone near the underground river would have been killed instantly, sir. Yet both you and Agent Shore survived. Why is that, Agent Shore? Riley asked Freak Show. Agent Stewart ensured we made it to safety before he blew the charges, sir, Freak Show answered. So, he committed suicide? Yes, sir. There's no way he could have survived. We both figured him and Kraft were in on the whole thing since Stewart had the only working detonator. Riley turned Freak Show around and leaned in so close Freak Show could count the stray hair sticking out of his nostrils. Who gave you the orders to go to Wichita, Agent Shore? Dr. Teray, sir. Who is your next upper-level contact after you received the official orders from Teray? Special Agent Kraft, sir, like I told you. Riley stood back and took out his phone. Teray is the mole. Locate her immediately and terminate her employment if she tries to run, and make each shot count. We're still paying for the construction of that research facility. Riding in a Humvee with 4 other agents, Freak Show and Davis were geared up and ready for combat. Wallace and Riley followed close behind with a group of their own eager to please agents. Wallace wore a smug grin on his face, knowing he was soon to be named in charge of the research facility and could finally move aggressively forward in finding a way to eradicate the menacing and vicious creatures. Stick to the zoo's maintenance road so we don't run into any civilians, Riley radioed to the lead Humvee. Roger that, but the gate's still closed and appears to be chained, sir, the lead driver reported back. Something's wrong. Run it down and be prepared for an ambush. You guys ready back there? The driver yelled back to Freak Show and the rest. All 6 men put down their helmet visors and nodded. Brace yourselves. We're crashing through. Chain link and barbed wire fencing flew up and over the vehicle and came to rest just in front of Wallace and Riley's Humvee, causing their driver to swerve hard and nearly roll over. Just drive over it, you fool! Wallace bellowed. 50 yards from the underground facility's entrance, the lead Humvee took on small arms fire. The driver and an agent sitting next to Davis slumped over dead when at least 2 of the bullets found their mark. With the dead driver's foot still pressed hard on the gas pedal, the heavily armored vehicle sped forward and crashed head-on into the metal door leading to the bunker, collapsing it inward. From out of the wreckage, the remaining agents emerged, firing in the direction of where they thought the assailants were. Another round of lead tore through the right kneecap of Davis, dropping him writhing to the ground. Help me get out of this line of fire! Freak Show yelled while dragging Davis by the arms. Leave him there and get inside the bunker, one of the agents ordered. We just can't leave him out here to die. The agent rushed over and grabbed hold of Freak Show's shirt. Our first directive is to secure the facility and capture Dr. Teray. If she escapes, the consequences could be a lot worse than this one soldier dying. Now get moving. Freak Show scooted back to better hide their totaled vehicle and laughed. If you think I'm going in there, you're crazy. I would much rather take my chances with whoever is shooting at us than with what is probably loose and on the prowl down in that lab. What's the difference if you're shot at out here or in there? You don't know, do you? Asked Freak Show. I doubt very much if there is anyone left alive in the lab toting a gun. Suit yourself, buddy. You'll have to answer to Riley, not me. The agent dismissed Freak Show and then led the remaining 2 other agents through the open door and down the dark stairwell. What do you want to bet? They all crap their pants when they see what's waiting for them down there. Davis laughed through the pain as Freak Show pulled him further behind the vehicle for cover. Just keep your head down. We're not in the best spot ourselves. 100 feet down the road, Wallace, Riley, and the second group of agents converged upon and took out the rogue soldiers that had been firing on both vehicles. No sign of Teray, one of the agents announced. Just these 2 dead bastards. Riley casually walked over to the agent's position and keyed his radio. Is the back entrance still locked and secure? Yes, sir, and I have the door in my sights. If the doctor dares to even poke her nose out, I'll shoot it clean off her face. With your permission, of course, sir. A voice squawked back. Riley grinned. Permission granted. Do you think Teray is still down there? Wallace asked Riley. If she is, she'll either be captured or dead within the hour. but my guess is that Dr. Teray is far away from this place. Most likely, she has a good 2-day start on us. I'll lead the group of agents down and sweep the entire facility, Wallace said. Riley put a hand on Wallace's shoulder. Teray probably left orders to release the nasty demons they were observing if their radical operation was discovered, so be on your guard. Major Wallace acknowledged what Riley had said with a quick nod and then addressed the group of agents. Have any of you ever encountered these creatures? All 5 agents shook their heads. Wallace looked upward and exhaled. Great. The only thing you need to know is that they are wicked fast, and when you shoot at them, don't miss. You might not get a second chance. Riley pointed over at Freakshow peeking out from behind the other vehicle. He's been up close and personal quite a few times. Check your gear and weapons, Agent Shore. We're heading down the hole, Wallace ordered. What about Davis? His knee's blown off. I don't need a nursemaid, Davis griped from his spot on the ground. Just hurry up and snuff out the terrorists so we can get some cold brewskis and something to eat already. In the dark corridors below the main entrance to the research facility, the dank odor of animal waste and hay was now accompanied by the smell of gunfire. Wallace led the way and had Freakshow bring up the rear. Up ahead, the chain-link gate was open, and the cages that once held sick and dying animals were mangled and dripping with blood. That's not a good sign, Wallace said. Is the security door closed? Asked Freakshow. Wallace shook his head. No, it's been blown, and the emergency lights have been activated. Freakshow walked to the front of the pack and held a closed fist up high in the air. Hold up, guys. Body shots will only slow these things down. A headshot is your best bet to drop them. Don't panic and take one shot at a time. Shit, I've hunted since I was old enough to hold a rifle. One to the heart will do the job just fine, a cocky agent boasted. Major Wallace walked over and took the agent by the scruff of his neck. Have you ever been face to face with one of those bastards? Agent Shore has, and more times than I would ever care to be. So if you want to stay alive, you better listen to the man and shoot the fuckers in the head. Am I making myself clear? Good. Wallace released the cocky but embarrassed agent and walked back to the front of the pack. Once we enter through that door, there is no turning back. These creatures are bloodthirsty and will not stop at just one of us, but they are not our main objective. The capture of Dr. Bahati Teray, dead or alive, is. So if it moves aggressively towards you or seems to be running away, shoot to kill. Major Wallace pushed open the free-swinging door with his boot. The first thing he noticed was 3 fresh body-sized puddles of blood and excrement. 2 M4 carbine assault rifles lay on the floor a few feet ahead. The third was bent and twisted, with bite marks on the buttstock. To the right, the row of cages that once held as many as 12 live specimens, most of them courtesy of Freakshow, were empty, with the access doors wide open. Past the row of cages, Wallace led the group into the atrium. The plush furniture and fake plants that once adorned the space were turned over and stained with blood. The corridors radiating from its center were dark. Wallace could hear something breathing, but couldn't pinpoint its direction. You hear that, Shore? Asked Wallace. Unfortunately, sounds like one of them. How do you know it's not a person? Maybe even Teray? An agent asked. Survival instinct, Freakshow dryly responded. As the team spread out across the atrium, something wet dripped onto the back of Wallace's neck and rolled beneath his collar. This roof have a leak? He asked while attempting to wipe away the liquid. Freakshow spied several drops on the shiny marble floor and a few on Major Wallace's boot. Looking upward for the source, his blood turned cold and his heartbeat became shallow and distant. Clinging to the dome ceiling directly above them, the biggest creature Freakshow had seen yet was staring directly down at him. Its black tongue slid across multiple rows of teeth, releasing more of its saliva. Before Freakshow could swing the barrel of his M4 upward, the cocky agent fired off a burst of lead directly into the center of the creature's chest, causing it to lose its grip and free fall onto Wallace.